It's kind of amazing, really, how this entire Alterna getup matches also the Sweetcast branding, the white and red. I didn't do that on purpose; it just is. So you're welcome. So I'm making this the same day that I made two other videos. So I made 3 videos today, but you're gonna see this tomorrow. So today you're seeing it. Anyway, I've got a live stream tonight where I'm going to be talking about a bit of it on one of the other channels, not my channel. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Where am I going? I don't even know. Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit more about this Diamond issue and where it leaves indie comics creators. I've heard some concerns here, and I actually heard concerns from both of my videos yesterday. One being if Diamond isn't the sole distributor, what about all those indie comics that are still sitting with Diamond? What about them? And the second was if for some reason more and more creators start going away from crowdfunding sites to be independent because you're doing your own distribution anyway, then where does that leave smaller creators that are not benefiting from the traffic that is sent to crowdfunding sites by larger creators? All these are interesting concerns, and I want to address this and maybe have some answers for it as well. Before we get into it, though, guys, check out Fatal. It's on Indiegogo right now. We're slowly creeping up, 92,621. Thanks to everyone that backed it. And then also Alterna Comics. Right now I've got Downcast #1 available right now, $1.99. You can't beat that, but you might as well get some other great comics there while you're at it. All right. So, need I remind you, it wasn't all that long ago. This was 5/14/20 that this article came out. Tacky branding is not the way back from the coronavirus shutdown. And this was Diamond's answer to everything. Now, I remember very well, I covered this very thoroughly, talking about Diamond, talking about DC leaving Diamond, and Diamond's tactics were essentially social pressure, peer pressure. That's what it came down to. Every time I saw Steve Jeppy go on to Dan Sheehan's YouTube channel, it basically was one big public relations hour where Steve Jeppy could basically say that he deserved loyalty. Loyalty from publishers. They haven't had a panel on the same YouTube channel live stream. No publishers would hold Steve Jeppy to any promises. They wouldn't hold his feet to the fire. It was just like, well, he runs the show, so we're going to go along with whatever Steve Jeppy says. And there was also the peer pressure for retailers by putting this really stupid logo everywhere on your comic books, but also on your t-shirts. And that was sort of their way of saying Diamond owns all of your publications. Without us, you're nothing. That's why they were encouraging publishers to put this on their books, which was silly. Now, I don't remember many publishers actually putting it on their books, but I do remember a lot of publishers going way out of their way to defend Diamond, even though they shut down the entire industry single-handedly because of COVID concerns that, frankly, the action that they took was not consistent with the danger that was present. We'll put it that way. All right, so fast forward today, a lot of people are really happily throwing Diamond under the bus. This is what I expected to happen last year because, everyone has bad things to say about Diamond in private, but when it came down to the entire industry shutting down over Diamond, for some reason, nobody would stand up. Everybody was so passive about it and allowing Diamond to be the leader of all companies, to be the leader of what's happening in comics. They allowed Diamond to do that. It really was sad. And so in this article, after decades of Diamond Comics serving as the exclusive distributor of Marvel Comics to the direct market, the House of Ideas is moving on to a greener and slightly less monopolistic pasture in a move that might signal a larger industry shift. A larger industry shift is an understatement. This is going to be massive. So I was a little confused yesterday because I didn't see all the information, but this is everything. Listen to this. This is from Random House, Penguin Random House, on shipping Marvel Comics to shops. Because of the delicate and collectible nature of comics, we will be using our warehouse in Hampstead, Maryland, to process comic book orders. In order to minimize damages, comics will not ship with graphic novels or other book products. And that raised the question, now hold on a second, was Diamond really shipping single issues in a box with graphic novels and other novels? Were they really doing that? And in some cases, yes, they were. That's a little shocking. But they have taken it seriously that comic books are meant to be kept nice. And I always try to explain this to people. Comic collectors are a slightly different breed. You want your books to be in good condition when you buy them. Very good condition when you buy them. That's partially what you're paying for. If you're paying, $3.99, $4.99, $10.99 sometimes for a floppy, or more even actually, you want that floppy to be in pristine condition if it's supposed to be new. It should be in pristine condition. That's important in comics. It really is. Now, the other thing here is that single issues moving away from Diamond, Marvel single issues, means that Diamond is essentially left with all of the publishers that they didn't care about, all the publishers that they would not cater to, all the publishers, they're secondhand, publishers as far as Diamond is concerned. So what do? I haven't seen any statements as of yet from Diamond. Probably as I post this video, I'm sure that they'll have something out. But that'll be tomorrow's video then. But they're stuck with these publishers, and what do? They're either going to lean into the indie comics publishers and become the indie comic publisher, or distributor rather, and they're going to serve them to the best of their ability. They're going to have to shrink a little bit, get a little bit leaner, figure out how to compete with Penguin and Random House to keep those indie comics publishers still around, or they're going to close shops. Those are the only two options that they have. Now, even if they're going to try and exist and stay around, they're going to have to compete with free shipping, which is a big deal. And they're going to have to compete with, just treating retailers and publishers professionally all the time. And that would be a great change for things, but I'm afraid it's going to be too little too late. So if you are an independent comics publisher or independent comics creator, where does this leave you now? Well, whenever there are changes, there are also opportunities. So my first reaction is, don't be afraid, okay? You got to look at it this way. If now there are going to be a massive influx of comic shop owners that are going to open up an account and start purchasing from Penguin Random House, that means that you could get your books there. Word has it that it's actually not that difficult. It's much less difficult than getting your books into Diamond. Funny how that works. They want to make money. And so if you can actually get your book distribution there with Penguin, then you're going to be sitting pretty. Like, now comic book shops are actually ordering from Penguin. You're still going to run into the same problems, and that is convincing comic book shop owners to buy your books and to attempt to sell them in person to comic book readers. That challenge doesn't change. So what does this mean if you're an independent creator? I still think the best way to sell comics is how we've already been selling comics, and that is online, using social media in the best ways that you can, getting the word out, and just selling direct to readers that are interested in your product. I would love to get my books sold in bookstores. I think that would be fantastic. At the same time, I don't have this Pollyanna-ish illusion that if you put your comic books in a comic book shop, they're going to sell and you're going to make money and, everything will be great. That's just not how it works. You've got to have something that's actually driving those sales. And I really think the best way to do it now is just any reader that you can possibly get to pick up your book, get them your book, ship it to them direct, get them to read it, and then hopefully you can build up something over time, somewhat of a name for yourself. Now, crowdfunding is going to run the same way, honestly. I think Indiegogo, I just got to make sure I make this clear, Indiegogo is a fantastic tool for crowdfunding. I don't have any plans to leave Indiegogo. However, I do like the idea of looking at other opportunities, because why not? Just having options is fantastic. Not relying on some kind of monopoly is fantastic. So I wanted to look a little bit through this real quick here. I see a lot of folks getting crazy with this news, but I really appreciate your matter-of-fact response on this. I don't care what happens as long as the comic tap keeps flowing and they don't become ridiculously expensive. It's possible they become less expensive even, I would say, but we'll see. If the publisher doesn't care about the physical integrity, why should the distributor? Oh, that's a good point. Also wondering how Penguin saying which warehouse is processing things makes a difference regarding this. Are there magic properties at this warehouse? Yes, the warehouse walks are bagged and boarded. No, they actually do have, I've heard, specialized boxes they're going to be shipping single issues in. They actually legitimately are going to be caring about the condition of the books and treating them as like delicate products. So that is actually good news. Wait, is that why floppies are always getting damaged? They just shove them in the box as the graphic novels or the hardcovers. Why are we using diamond for so long? And the short answer is no, not always. That's the same thing as saying yes, not always. That means sometimes, some of the time they did that. That's ridiculous. Why have we been using diamond so long? That's because of peer pressure and because nobody was willing to try something new. Again, the same thing with crowdfunding, I think. It's okay to try something new. Why is there this immediate visceral reaction from most people when it comes to change? In business, you have to be able to try things. Otherwise, you're not going to move forward. And comic books is where we're starting right now. It almost feels like back to base. Square one, back to basics. You've got to do something to have growth and to be a little bit more aggressive. You got to take some action rather than just being acted upon. So ultimately, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this story goes. I expect to see a statement coming out from Diamond. They're bound to do something, and it's probably going to look something like this. Our comeback will be bigger than our setback. They're going to find some kind of tacky way to apply social pressure, essentially, and demand loyalty. That's what this is going to come down to. Does Diamond deserve loyalty? I don't think so. I think that's something that you have to earn every single day. This is business we're talking about. This is not your best friends that go way back. This is business. And if you want this industry to survive, I think change is necessary. I've been saying that for the past year or even longer. And nothing changes now other than the process has now been essentially forced to happen by Marvel Comics. Anyway, thank you for watching. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And let me know in the comment section below what you think about all of these changes. I'd love to know. And I will see you in the next video.